Hey everyone, my name is Julian or NellyH2525 on Reddit, and welcome to r/Cubers 1 Scramble 2. I've been trying to come up with something better than just 2, but I didn't like V2 or anything, so yeah. I believe, if I recall correctly, in the first part there are going to be 16 videos. I think I got a little under 40. And that sort of surprised me because the community's grown quite a lot in the past 6 months, and I think we had like 57 submissions last time. So yeah, anyways, please enjoy.
I can preserve this pair, and then the rest of the cross is pretty easy. This pair, I see these two. But if I, this is cool, so if I do this, it'll preserve both of these, and then I can just insert this, and cancel into this, just like that. These two, oh well, and these two are correct, so that's an option.
So I'm going to be doing white cross with CFOP, this scramble, and yeah, because I found that this was fairly easy. I'm going to solve these 3 pieces first, like this, and then I'm going to insert that like that, and then I can insert that pair like this. And I saw this pair when I was doing the cross, but I generally don't like taking pairs out, so I'd solve this pair, and then this pair is really nice, this last pair, and I'd do edge control, COLL, and then a U-perm.
This is Sloth Physicist, and I'm using an Oolong V2 batch 2, and my method is CFOP, and I average around 17 seconds. So I'm not color neutral, I'm white and yellow neutral, and just looking at briefly, I think the white's going to be easier because I have this pair right here that I can preserve while doing the cross, and I see that I can set this white and red piece up opposite of this orange one. So I just start R prime, D, B prime, and then rotate, and rather than just doing an F2 right here and breaking up this pair, I do an R prime F2 R to put that in there, and then I can rotate to put this in, and then go straight into putting this pair in the back. And then the next pair I see is this orange and blue one right here, and that's fairly easy. Just move it over, pair it up, and then insert in the back, and while doing that it matched this one up, and I'd rotate, insert that, which also matches this one up, and rather than just inserting it normally in the back here, I would sledgehammer it in, because I have a dot case right here and I want to have an L case, and then that OLL. And I see this as a G-perm because I have headlights and this bar back here. And I would do a sin and do a Y2 because I don't know an alg for doing it from the back without using my left hand.
I'm using a milieu Huilong, and I still love using the column spruce method. I average about 28 seconds. So the first thing I notice is this column right here is already together and in place, and these 2 pieces need to go together and make column. So I can do LI, U2, L, MI, BI to put those together and put them in place. And the next thing I notice is these 2 pieces need to go together, so I can just do that and that to insert the pieces. And then I see these 2 pieces need to go together, so I can just do U2, that to put this here and this here. Now I can do M and that to insert it like an F12 pair. Now I have to do my CLL, which orients the top layer, or top corners, and there we go. Now I start solving for my first 3 edges, and I see this edge and this center go together and need to go here, so I can just do that to put them in. Now I see that these 2 pieces need to go here, so I can just do mi2, u2, m to put them in place. And now this piece needs to go here, so I can just do that there to put them together. Now I do my L5 EOP with this piece and this piece, and I just do that to put it in. And now I finish with PLL. And that's it.
Okay, I'm using a Moyu Along V2 CFOP method, and I'm sub 20. I know 1 look PLL and about 30 OLLs, so for here, the first thing I would do is I would build the yellow cross, so I'm going to insert the blue edge next to the red one, then I'll insert the orange one, and lastly I'll insert the green one, just like that, and I'll also pair up these centers so I don't have to do any additional rotations. Next I see this edge, so I will go ahead and pair those up, U2, insert on the back. Then I see this edge already paired up, so I'll just move it into position and pair it up. Then these 2 pieces, so I'll bring the edge on the right, I have an empty slot in the back because that's where it's going to be inserted. Pull it down, then I'll pull the corner over, pull it up, insert, and then lastly I see this edge, so I will go ahead and pair those up on the back, and then insert OLL, 2 look, and then a PLL. There we go.
I average around about 17 seconds with the Friedrich method, and this cube here is a while long. I solve white and yellow cross, however for this solve, white cross is the easiest. Right. First I notice these 2 cross edges. They can both be solved with 1 move each, orange and green. But I'm going to leave that for a sec and set up the other 2 cross edges. So the other 2 over here is the white red and the white blue. They can both be set up to get the red, and then I'll do a D to fix the orange piece, and then these last 3 cross edges can be solved very easily. R prime for the red, F for the blue, and B2 for the green. This is the first pair I notice. I can set them up like that, rotate and insert. I notice this pair next, insert. Alright, I've seen this pair at the back, and I know a special algorithm for that. If you line up this corner over the top diagonally, R2, YDU, R2, YDU prime, R2, and as I can see that these 2 edges are both yellow, and these 2 obviously are, I know that this edge has to be the red-blue one. So I can solve that. Here, for this case, I can see that if I insert it with a sledgehammer, instead of this normal case, I can get a cross skip and, luckily, an entire OLL skip. And this is just a standard F-firm.
Hello, this is my submission for the r/cubers1 Scramble video. I'm using a Moyu Hualong solving cross on white, and I average around 20 seconds. So let's get started. First, I see this white piece is already lined up, and this green piece is above its center. So I'm going to line up that orange, put in the green, and I can do the same with the blue here, and then position the red and orient the bottom layer like that. Then I see these 2, this pair up here, so I can insert that. Then I see this pair. Then on the back here, there's this pair. Then there's a couple ways I could do this, but I'd probably just go like that. And then unfortunately I have to 2-look this OLL because I don't know the case. So that's just assume. And then this is an A perm.
Hi. I do not know what cube this is, but I use Friedrich and I average 13 seconds. So what I would do here is, since there's a pair here, but first I would align this here so when I do a D move, it won't affect this edge. So what I do first is I do L prime from this angle and do a rotation. And then I insert here, so I have a 1 by 2 by 2 block. Then I do R2, F2, R. And then I have this 2 by 2 by 2 block. And then, since I adjusted it up here, it's not affected, so I can just do F prime L. And there we have an X cross. And so I see this first pair here, so I will do this, which is just RL prime V2 R prime L. And then I see this pair back here, which can just be, I see this pair back here, which can be solved like this. And then there's this pair, which can just insert. And so I got lucky, since it's this, and when I do F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime, it gives me a PLL skip, so yay.
Okay, so this cube's an L long V2, I'm sub 9, and I use CFOP, so I'm gonna do green cross because I like it the most, in the scramble. I see this piece, and this piece, and this piece. So this piece is already in on the green side. I just need to do a D2 to solve it. So I'm gonna do an L, and then I see this edge, and I see this corner, and then make an F2L pair. So I'm gonna keep track of this corner because I know that I'm gonna do a D R prime D L2, which won't affect this edge. So I just need to keep track of this corner. So I already know where it is, so pair it up. I see this pair already, which I'm just gonna do right after I finish that pair. And I see a green corner in the back, and I know that it's the yellow-orange one because in inspection, I already saw that this was in here. So I see the edge, and now I'm gonna go to that orange-white corner I was talking about, solve it. So I get an OL skip, and then a J perm, and I'm done.
This is for R-Cubers 1 Scramble Year 2. It's a MoU Along version 1, and using CFOP it usually takes me about 20 to 22 seconds to finish. I solve with the white cross on the top, and before we get to putting any more edges up there, we're actually going to have to move this orange-green edge pair out of the way. And now that I've done that, moved it to the back, I can bring green up. There we go. Our pair is in the way again if we want to move the blue-white edge up into its spot, so we can move it. Blue-white comes up into its place. And there's red and white. When we match our centers up and flip, we've got this pair right here. We can take it out, and actually when we do that, now we've made this pair right here. So we can put them in 2 at a time. That right there made us another pair. That's red and green, that's red and green. When we take it out, we can put it in the back, corner, and edge. Any algorithm will do. Now we have to get all of our corners facing up. And they've actually done them all themselves, so now just a 3-edge cycle, and we're done.
Okay, so here I'm doing rows, so I notice this pair doesn't go well with this edge here. It's 4 moves, but it's only 3 for the pairing it with the green white edge. So to solve this pair here, I do F prime and then F prime L2 F. So this cancels into F2 L2 F. However, if I track the other pair that goes back in here, which is this one here and this one here, after the F2, this edge is moved up to here, and after the L2, this corner is brought down to here. Now this means if I do a U before the last F move, I'll actually pair up those 2 pieces here, and that means I can insert them with UB. So my first block is F2, L2, UF, UB. Now the next pair I notice is this corner here and this edge here. But before inserting them, I look for where my DR edge is, and it's up here. And what I do is I have to orient it before pairing them up, because that will then leave me with a much nicer
inserting of the pair and that piece. Just so happens that that actually also solves this edge here, which means that I can insert this in here. Now instead of just doing RU prime R prime, from here what I would actually do is I do U prime then insert it with RU to R prime, because that way I can then cancel one move into solving this corner here. Okay, so that sets it up. But notice how this edge here isn't oriented, so I can't pair up like that, which means that I have to, as I go to insert the corner, like that would insert the corner, I just stick an M prime in there, and that inserts the edge as well. Here, because I want to preserve EO, because this is a nice EO case, I do a wide sexy sledge. Normal sexy sledge wouldn't actually change EO, but I just do a wide sexy sledge anyway. So EO for this is M prime, U prime, M prime. Now I'm tracking my UL, UR edges because I need to know them for the next step. So I know that they're here and here, but actually, I recognise this EP5 case. So it's MU2, M prime, U prime, MU2, M prime, and then AUF.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is bring that down, take the orange piece and put it here, and then finish that piece like that. First thing I see are these two pieces. I saw those pieces go there, so I'm going to do that. That pair looks pretty nice there. Let's do that. These two over the PLO.
So this is my entry for the RCubers Scramble example solve. I'm going to solve using ZZ. I average about sub 20 on it, probably around 19.5. Okay, so I'm looking and I see 3 bad edges in the front. There's 2 on this side right here and then 1 back here. So I'll do like an F turn, orient these, make this a bad edge, do something like that. So now these are all good. My line edges are right here, so do something like that. This is actually already conveniently paired, so we'll do that. I see this, other side is right there. Probably solve this one first. Do something like that. Last pair, these are already phased correctly, so I can insert like that. I don't know this ZZLL set, so I'm gonna cheat. Switch to H, finish off with a ZZLL.
What we have is a scramble. It has 6 bad edges. I'll be doing ZZ Porky to solve it, and it's got a pair right here, but I don't know if we can preserve it. What I see is that we have 3 bad edges here, so we can immediately do an F prime, and then move all these 3 over. Do the F prime, R2, U and D prime at the same time, and then F, and then EO, line piece, place that down there, but I don't want to mess up this pair, so I'll just move it out of the way like that, and then solve it. And then we got these 2, pair them up, then probably continue with the right block, these 2. And then there's the left block, and then I'm going to solve the permutation of the corners here, which was really easy to do. And I noticed that these are swapped, and those aren't, so we need to swap these with this commutator. And now permutation of the corners should be solved. Continue with the F12 by making the red-green pair, and then finish with the red-blue pair. Got soon, and then a Z-perm. And that was ZZ Porky.
For the cross, I would do a green. I see the white here, yellow on the right, and then the red and orange there. So relatively easy. I could do D to R prime to put the orange and white in, then a D prime R prime D, put the yellow back in there. U to R2. Relatively inefficient, but I'm not the fastest. Right, the first F12 pair C is this yellow red pair here and here. We've matched them up. and put them in like that. The second pair I see is this white-orange piece pair here and here. I can do U2 to bring back there and match them up. Good potato, put them in the back. Alright. The third pair are these two. There. The fourth pair are these two. And there. I don't know full OLL, so get the cross, and this is a CLL case. And again, I don't know full PLL, so T-perm and a U-perm. U2, and I'm done.
Hi, so this is Moyu all-long version 2. I solved the cube using F2L with beginner's method, and I am sub 29, so let's start. So the way I solve the cube is I'm a white cross solver, so I just look for the pieces and I do the cross, and I flip it upside down and I do F2L. I don't use any algorithms, I just learned it intuitively, yeah. So there's that pair, and this is the last pair. So what I do now is I get this, and then as you can see, this you just do soon, but yeah, I just do this soon, and then I look for headlights. There's none, so I do this. Now there's headlights. And then this is just a new. So yeah, that's it.